Welcome to this channeled message reading. It's going to be audio only, but I wanted to share with you some other images for the different groups 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now let's get to your reading. Hello, my honeys. This is Kamara with the Black Dove Oracle, and welcome to your channeled message. This message will be audio only. So how have you been, my honeys? If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support of this channel. I know I took some downtime, but I had to really get my energy together from having the pancake or the panini or whatever we calling it. But I'm back. I'm feeling much more energized. And I just had to take a little bit of time to rest, to get my energy back together. But yeah, I'm here. If you're brand new to this channel, I am Kamara. I'm the Black Dove Oracle. I'm a psychic medium. I channel my ancestors, the divine ancient symbols, everyone who sits at the feet of spirit, including spirit itself. And know that these channeled messages are received with care and transmitted back to you with care. So thank you and welcome. So I have a variety of different kinds of readings on this channel. Some are audio only, some will show my hands with the cards, and others are just a full-on showing my face. And later on tonight, because I believe I'm going to post this reading right away, later on tonight, I will be doing the third of my midnight tea live channeled messages with Spirit. So I've been having a really awesome group of folks joining me for those. And I think my next midnight tea will be happening tonight, which is a Saturday. And it's timeless if you don't catch it while it's being recorded. But if you do catch it while it's being recorded, I will be giving away. I will be conducting a little lottery and answering questions for the winners. So make that if you can. I think it's not really exactly midnight. I believe I'm starting at 9 p.m. Mountain Time, which could be Eastern Time. Is that? I think Eastern Time, that might be midnight, but it'll be midnight somewhere in the world. And it may not be for other parts of the world. So, why don't we get into this channeled message? We are going to have 4 messages because there's 4 different groups. And if you're new to how I do this audio only channeled message, I'm just going to describe to you what Spirit is transmitting to me. And I also pick a few cards in between there, and I will do my best to describe them. I will be working with the Archetypes deck, the Seasons of the Witch Oracle. I'll be working with the Witch's Wisdom Oracle, the Archetypes deck, as well as the Messages from the Ancestors deck, the Melanated Rider-Waite deck, as well as the what is the name of this other? This is the Secrets of the Ancestors Oracle. I have that out too. I may not pick all of these decks. Sometimes I just ask Spirit, where is the message, and we'll pick the deck. But we've picked 4 cards that will start us out for each group, okay? And those 4 cards are coming from the Archetypes deck by Kim Kranz, okay? The Wild Unknown. All right, my honeys, if you have not had a chance to visit my brand new website, I will put it right up here for a few minutes. I just created a brand new website. If you want to get readings from me, or maybe you would like some spiritual coaching, this would be where you would find out all of that information. I'll never reach out to you in the comments or on any other platform for a reading. You can only secure your reading here at my brand new website, blackdoveoracle.com. Okay. And I thank everyone who's ordered a reading from me. It has been so awesome to connect with people that way. And if you send me an email, make sure that you are sending an email to the blackdovedreamer@gmail.com, okay? Those are the only ways to get in touch with me. It'll be in the description box below in case you can't write it fast enough. But okay, my honeys, let's get to group number 1. So, group number 1, Spirit is saying, why don't I do little chimes? So, let's bring those out because it's something about that sound just chiming us in for group number 1. Okay, group number 1. Let's get you started. So, group number 1, the opening card that you have from the archetypes deck from the Wild Unknown is the Siren. Wow. So, this channeled message is about how they feel about you, the blunt truth. So, we are diving into your energy, group number 1, and know that the avatars in this picture, they can be switched around if you want them to, or they can just be representatives of the different groups. You get to choose. For some reason, I was getting beards right now, but they definitely don't have to have facial hair. And I was kind of getting more what we would call quote unquote masculine energies, but I will definitely read from more of a broader perspective, okay? So, how do they feel about you, group number 1? Well, I gotta say, this Siren card, it says a lot, okay? Because the Siren is the seducer, the temptress, the femme fatale. So I definitely get that this is someone who feels as if you are seducing them, especially when they are in and around you. I don't know why I heard it that way, but okay. This person, I think that they are not quite sure all the time how to feel about your power over them, group number 1. And I think that is the blunt truth. They sometimes feel as if their world is spinning when they're with you or they're in your vicinity, because I kind of get, for some of you, this is not fully a relationship yet. This is someone who might be crushing on you, someone that you have a situationship with. It could be someone that you are having an it's complicated type of relationship with, and it could be someone who's really just super attracted to you but hasn't made any particular moves on you. I guess that could be like a crush. But I'm getting from spirit that group number 1, your situations might vary a little bit in this group, but the overall feeling of this person towards you, group number 1, is one of being seduced, one where they feel a little bit out of control. I would say this person, and this is an energy check too, before we get into reading other cards. So take it where it resonates. We are reading collectively. But this person, regardless of who you are in group number 1, they feel overtaken, maybe even aroused deeply by their connection with you. This is someone who didn't expect to feel the intensity of the relationship or the feelings they have for you, group number one. They feel like your voice allures them. Some of you might actually be a singer. You may actually sing. I don't know if you sing professionally, but this person has heard you sing in some kind of context. It could have been casual, like at a party and you're doing karaoke. It could have been that they seen you sing and you were on stage. I mean, there's something about your voice to this person that calls them in. They could listen to you literally all night, all day. Um, the blunt truth is that this person sometimes worries about the intensity that they feel towards you, group number one, especially if they haven't expressed to you how attracted they are to you. And for some people in this group, that is the case. You may not know yet in terms of words from their mouths that how deeply attracted they are to you, group number one. Some of you may have a sense of their attraction, but for others of you, this may come as a bit of a surprise. Spirit is saying that I think when this person thinks about you, group number one, Spirit is saying this person is often confronted with fear. Because I don't get a sense that this person lives emotionally in their life a lot. Meaning, I'm not sure if they lead their life emotionally. This may be someone who relies a lot on logic. They could be someone who really has more of a scientific kind of mind. This person could work with numbers or science or, calculations. This person could be a scientist. This person could be an engineer. This person could be just someone, a teacher who deals with this kind of subject matter. And if not any of those things, this person just basically has more of a logic-oriented mind. But it would be very hard for me to picture someone who is attracted to group number one as someone who kind of lives in their feeling life. This person, I would say like Aquarius or any of the air signs for sure. This person doesn't have to be an air sign. They could be an earth sign as well as a fire sign. Like I think all the signs work. I would say probably the least amount if they do have water in their chart. It's more, not in a moon sense. It may not be a water moon sign. But, Scorpios are pretty good at hiding their actual feelings too. So we could take the spectrum. I'm not getting like a hardcore sign yet. But what I am getting is someone who they go back and forth about this attraction to you. One is because Spirit is saying that maybe you are not typically their type. That's one thing. And for a small group of you, this person may be even struggling with their sexuality when it comes to you. So this could be a same sex attraction. Just a small group of you, but I had to mention that. There could be something that disturbs them about ruffling the status quo when it comes to being attracted to you. Maybe this person has a family, a social circle that expects them to date a particular kind of person or a person with a particular kind of status. So this is interesting. Spirit is also saying for a few of you that this person, if they did decide to engage you in a relationship, they would have to choose between being comfortable in the life they've set up for themselves or deciding to feel more alive. There's something about choosing you, group number one, that seems to be associated with aliveness. There's something gray, something very solid about this person's life currently. It doesn't have a lot of fire, but this person is very fiery on the inside. Their life is very neutral. I don't know why Spirit is showing me colors like grays and neutral colors. Maybe their house looks like this. Maybe their office looks like this. This is a person that when you go to their house, everything has their place, its place. When you go to their house, it's very clean, orderly. But there's something about you, group number one. Those are not the words I would use to describe you. In fact, Spirit is saying you're quite the opposite. And when this person feels like they go within and they imagine you, group number one, there's something about the temptation to taste you, the temptation to know that if they took one taste, they would be under your control. This is someone who imagines that this would be the first time that they would feel like they need to submit to a love like this, to an attraction like this. I don't know if they are thinking about love yet. I have to be honest. The blunt truth is that they are very attracted to you, group number one. They, instead of love, I'm hearing the words lust, temptation. I'm hearing the words how you awaken, how you arouse them, how really, quite literally, you have come into their life as a force that is intent on wrecking what they have put together. They see you as potential wreckage. Very interesting. There is a part of this person that feels sometimes, I don't know if the word is angry. The word is frustrated. Yes, the word is frustrated. They feel frustrated that they have this deep attraction to you, group number one. Because one is, it means you have power over them. In their mind, it means you have power over them. And there's ways in which when they are in certain spaces with you under certain conditions, this person knows they wouldn't be able to control their body's reaction to you. This person would never ask you to dance a slow dance because they feel like they wouldn't be able to control their body. They feel like, regardless of gender, they feel like they would be aroused with that kind of heat that it comes over the body, where you start to sweat a little bit. Like there's a little moisture happening because like you've turned up the heat in their body. This person has this kind of reaction to you, group number one. They find you incredibly beautiful, handsome, good looking, fine, whatever those adjectives are. And there's another part of them, the logical part. I think the part that Spirit shows me when they are trying to fall asleep at night, the part of them that feels like any kind of serious move towards you, group number one, means that they would have to muster up an incredible amount of courage. They would have to be able to submit to the deep descent of the siren because they see you as that creature that will take them deeply into their psyche and begin to have them dismantle all of who they are, because they feel like with you, group number one, they are going to start thinking differently, acting differently. And it's not necessarily in bad ways, but they feel like you are a towery kind of force that would come into their lives and change who they are, what they've set up, what they've put in place for even safety. Okay? So, group number one, you're dangerous to this person's stable, so-called stable life. Spirit is saying it's a so-called stable life. This person likes to think that they may be someone who's very athletic too. So this may be someone who runs a lot. Spirit says they may run when they're dealing with overwhelming feelings towards you. They may go for a run. Spirit is saying if this is someone who works with you, you notice that during their lunch, they go for a run. But, it doesn't have to be someone who works with you. But I think for many of you, this is someone you have some kind of daily or weekly contact with. So this person uses their athletic, I don't know what you call it, athleticism, to ward off some of their frustration, some of their overwhelm when it comes to their attraction for you. This person has normally, they would tell you, group number one, this person normally has a great deal of willpower. They are known for their restraint. They are known for their discipline. But when you come along, group number one, it's like you come through like a hurricane. You rip apart the gentle foundations they've put together for themselves. They don't know if this attraction is good or bad. They are somewhat of a black and white thinker. I'm going to tell you this, group number one. And I don't know from your perspective, group number one, if you are necessarily all in terms of an attraction with this person. This person, even for you, group number one, feels like not your type. Although Spirit is saying for a small group of you, you actually like the challenge of being attracted to this type of person. Okay? I must be reading for a larger crowd. But what I will say about this person is that at the same time, they have some fear, maybe some frustration, maybe some overwhelm with being attracted to you. At the same time, they do find this attraction in their realm equally challenging, like a problem to solve, like an equation to dive deep into. This attraction, they're wondering why. How did this happen? When did this happen? Why is this happening? I mean, literally, if there was an equation for attraction, this person has it on a pad of paper, and they're just like, how, when, where? And they can't seem to let that part go, which keeps them wondering, is that putting more fire, more kindling on the fire of their attraction? Because they find themselves, even in their quiet moments, if they're sitting down to eat, your image runs across their mind. Things about you run across their mind. If it was a day that you two particularly got close for some reason physically, maybe you were handing them something, maybe you came over to their desk to explain something, they are remembering the essence of your perfume or your cologne, maybe just even the conditioner you washed your hair with that morning. This person, if you need to know more about who they are, they're a very innovative mind. They're someone who is very creative with the way that they think, the solutions that they offer are quite different, quite unique. I would say that this person is quite the opposite of the femme fatale. They are not a Don Juan. They are not used to using attraction romantically. They are not used to being seductive themselves. They can be actually kind of awkward around you, group number one. But there's something where it's subtle because spirit is showing me someone who's very strong. Like I said, their willpower, their I, I would say they kind of have a stoic nature, but I wouldn't say that it's stoic in the sense of them being silent. But maybe when they're around you, they find it hard to do small talk. So, how they feel about you is confused. And at the same time, they're attracted to how nurturing you are. I think sometimes for some of you, you may know this person's attracted to you. You may play a little bit with that. But there are other times where you're quite nurturing and you take compassion when it comes to their attraction towards you because maybe you see group number one, it makes them a little uncomfortable. It arouses them in such a way that they are trying to keep every part of themselves under control. I mean, this is a blunt truth reading. This person struggles with their attraction towards you, group number one. They feel at times foolish. They wish they could be more humorous about this. They wish they could be more lighthearted about this. But there's something here where they feel forced to try to control themselves. That's kind of what I'm getting. Yeah, there's a lot of control they're trying to get to exert when it comes to themselves. I don't think you really see it, group number one. I don't think you really see it. The ancestors said there was a song, and it could just be because I've been hearing the song on my little radio the past week. But Tony Tony Tone, it's totally like an old song. Whatever you want. There are in this person's fantasies, group number one, them proposing that they just take care of you, that they it's funny, spirit's giving me Beauty and the Beast. Like they just want to take you to a castle, put you in that castle and just have them to yourselves and to themselves, and they just want to um get to know you slowly, get to know you as they would get to know any kind of beautiful rose, beautiful flower, petal by petal, very slow, uninterrupted. That's this person's fantasy. They truly feel as if they had that fantasy just to be with you alone, they figured they would figure out if this was love or if it was just lust and it needs to be an experience they have. Like they don't understand themselves right now. They don't know what it would be like because they're showing me a 3 of Cups, but they're showing me themselves in every position. Like a version of themselves that's just your friend, a version of themselves that's just your coworker or neighbor, and then a version of themselves that's your lover. All 3 holding a cup towards you. That's a very interesting imagery I've never received before. But when I channel this person's energy, they are not sure where to take this attraction. And yet they know from their own body sensations that this attraction is speaking to them highly sexual. You know what I'm saying? Highly sexual. And again, I see a rainbow. So for some small group of you, this is a same sex or a non binary sex connection, attraction. Take it where it resonates. Um, this person, there's something kind of magical about this person in the sense of like how they relate to the world, how they relate even materially to the world. I think they were given some kind of set formula from their family, from their community. Like, this is what you do. You go to college, you get the degree, you become an expert, you marry somebody, you have kids, you start the cycle all over again. I think this person kind of thought that was the life they were going to lead. But when they ran into you, group number one, some of you may be even a different culture from this person. Again, you may arouse a different kind of sexuality in this person. Take it where it resonates, but you are evoking something different in them, something that may have been dormant inside of them. Like maybe their whole life, they never talked to anyone like you from your culture, really. They just may not have had the exposure. And then they meet you, and you are in this package, and you are also of this alive culture. I get from them, and I'm not going to stereotype cultures, but what I am going to say is the picture they're giving me about their culture is very reserved, confined, conservative, even. And when they meet you, you're more how do I want to say, extroverted. You may even sing in the halls when they encounter you. You're just by yourself. You may even like walk in a certain kind of way. You certainly dance in a certain kind of way. Like there are things that feel so alive about you, group number one. And when this person sees you, at first they weren't sure what to make of you. But then they're starting, the more and more they got to know you, there was just this reaction to you, a whole mind, body, soul reaction to you, awakening something inside of them that they weren't sure they ever had access to until they met you. Very interesting. Spirit says one more card here. Yeah, a lot of water. So interesting. Yeah, this person may be, if they work with you, they're in some kind of position to mentor you. They may be a manager, supervisor. They may be a CEO, a COO, whatever. If you work in that kind of setup, this may be someone who's actually a teacher of yours. I mean, an appropriate way. But is there any appropriate way? I mean, really, professors are not supposed to date their students in college either. But I'm saying maybe grad school, it's different. I don't know. Is it, y'all? Y'all let me know. But this person may have some kind of mentoring relationship with you. They may teach you a particular thing. Maybe there's a tutor. Maybe they're a consultant. I don't know. They have some kind of way in which they have some knowledge they are passing on to you. Maybe this is how you met them. What does the ancestors have to say? Yeah. If they decide to be in this relationship with you, group number one, I think what spirit and your ancestors are pointing out is that there is going to be some kind of healing. And I won't say it's just a one-way thing. I think it happens for both of you. Because the differences are so stark. It's like water and fire, oil and water. Been in conditions where those two have to merge and create. And in group number one, what spirit is saying is that you're going to Both of you will approach this relationship, if you decide to move forward with it, very compassionately, very carefully. Spirit is showing me like the elements of like wood and fire. Both could set each other on fire quite instantly. Or there can be conditions where the fire is set and it is contained. There are things to help it be contained, things to help it ignite but stay contained. I don't know why I was getting that kind of like elemental vision. Is there anything else, Spirit? I think Spirit is just saying, let's go to the tarot for the last few messages. How do they feel about group number one? The blunt truth, Spirit. Yeah. Wow. Spirit gave me the King of Pentacles upright and the Queen of Wands upright. And it perfectly describes who you all are, because in this King of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles is sitting in a very kind of like very structured, very pointed throne with a pentacle in between both hands. This person feels very upright and stoic. And then the Queen of Wands is like surrounded by golden smoke, holding a very beautiful, powerful, large flame. That is most definitely a description of both of you, group number one. And in between you both is the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. There is something here about both of your statuses financially. A way of how would that life work? I think you both come from different. I don't know if people even use this as a descriptor anymore, but classes. You both seem to come from a different class, different. So it could be cultures for sure, but it could just be classes. You both seem to come from a different, starkly different classes, experiences of the world, and there is a concern I think both of you will feel about how would you both work in each other's world? Does someone have to surrender their world to come over to the other person's world? Or how would the two worlds work together? I think that would be something of a blunt truth that's on their mind. But I am seeing it's something to be concerned from the both of you. This person is concerned about their obsession with you. No lie, group number one. The devil card comes up here, and it's just saying that they constantly are in a battle when it comes to their attraction for you, but in many ways they feel like they will end up submitting to this attraction. They don't see any other way that it is going to go away. I think they've tried many ways to subdue this passion that they have for you, group number one. I think they've tried to think about maybe leaving whatever kind of relationship they have with you. So for some people, if they live in your building or they're a neighbor, they've been thinking maybe I should move away. For other people, if they are your mentor, they're like, maybe I should propose you go see someone else or learn from someone else. If they work with you, maybe they thought about transferring. I mean, this person thinks about very how do I want to say, stark ways of trying to leave your energy. And even I think this person has gone on a long vacation. This may be a clue for one of you in group number one. This person went away for a while just to see, hey, what if I went on vacation? Maybe I'm working too much. And this is like kind of getting to me in some mental health way. But even when they went away, even when they try to put themselves in other people's energies, they are saying blunt truth that you always come back to their mind. If they try to not think about you, you seep into their dreams. Not in a weird, creepy way, but also in a way that concerns them. And they're not in any way wanting to harm you or wanting to do something that you have no interest in. They are just kind of like, wow, I either need to express this to group number one and see where the chips fall, or I need to figure out how to move away from group number one. That's interesting. Anything else, Spirit? Yeah. They spend a lot of time meditating. And like I said, this person has a lot of like practices, and the meditation works for them. Um, and I think the meditation kind of centers them, but it's requiring a great amount of strength lately to contain themselves. So the blunt truth is that, last message, Spirit. Yeah, the blunt truth is Ace of Swords. They may begin some kind of conversation with you. They may test out what your feelings are, group number one, if they haven't expressed anything to you. In other cases, they may try to make moves to define what you all have and see where that goes. If you all are in some kind of situationship, I think that they are going to just reveal to you how deep their feelings do go. And if that situationship has been a little rocky or just kind of not as aligned as they'd want it to be, they're going to try to bring it online with being very truthful to you, group number one, about the depths of their attraction. And from there, I think they will see where it goes. I think they understand that holding all of this within themselves is not really working. And I get, for just a small group of you, if you all have been intimate with each other, this person is using so much restraint to try to contain themselves. Like they may just abruptly leave. Like, oh, after you all are kind of done with your exy time, they might just be like, you know what, let me go. I have to work tomorrow, or like whatever they're doing, there's some kind of abrupt behavior that they may be engaging in. and you've got to know they are really trying to control themselves, group number one. And I think that this relationship, it just pulls on a lot of their issues around control. So that is the blunt truth, group number one. From what I've been getting and what Spirit has said and what I've tapped into with this person, if you resonate with any or all of this reading, could you please give me a thumbs up, group number one? It's a really solid way to support this brand new channel. If you like the way that I channel messages, please check out the other ways that I do readings. I show the cards with my hands. I go live and I show my little face to y'all. So there's a number of different ways to engage with this channel. Please subscribe if that's something you want to do, and if you click that bell, you get notified when I upload new readings. Group number one, if this is where we part, this is someone who has a deep attraction for you that they're trying to understand, but it seems like they are making the efforts to do that, to understand more. Okay, group number one, take care, my honeys. Hello, group number two. This is Kamara with the Black Dove Oracle, and this is your channeled message on how they feel about you, the blunt truth. So group number one was very interesting. And group number two, I have no doubt yours will be too. I start off with picking one card from the archetypes deck from the Wild Unknown. And the card that represents This connection group number 2 is Venom. Very interesting, huh? So, group number 2. Let's start you off with some sound. Yeah, so group number 2. The blunt truth is that this person sees your relationship as something at times that feels a little bit poisonous, something that feels a little bit like they're under a curse of some sort. Um, Sometimes this person even feels as if this relationship can go to toxic places. This person feels like when this relationship, this connection, it's there to teach them something. It's actually as if they're trying to learn something through the suffering that they are feeling when it comes to this attraction. Very interesting. This is a little bit of an energy check, and know that there's 4 groups. But I wouldn't hesitate to I would hesitate rather to click off right now group number 2, because there's something about this person's energy. They feel like they want to start with what has been difficult in the connection with them, which is the feelings of how you both exchange energy with each other. It feels like you both need each other in a particular kind of way, that the relationship is so intense at times that they're not sure why it's so potent. There's something about this relationship where they feel there's no remedy to this connection, because they feel like they're so connected to you, so bound to you. They wonder at times, and maybe you both have talked about it, because it sounds like you both are in this connection or have been back and forth, and the intensity, the energy, it's there. The maybe at times even codependency is there, in terms of needing each other, in terms of walking away and still turning around and coming back. It's that kind of energy in the relationship. This person even says they're not even sure about the reciprocity that's involved in a relationship at times, because they feel as if you both need each other, like a tree needs carbon monoxide to in exchange for making the oxygen. Like they feel like your relationship is very symbiotic that way. I get even the intensity of how I'm talking. They feel like you both can't leave each other alone. There's something that keeps pulling you both back together. And this person says at times they're not sure if you both are just harming each other. That's the blunt truth. As much as they may claim to love you or feel attracted to you, there is something about the way that you both communicate, how you both build build in your environment together, that doesn't always feel healthy to them. They feel as if sometimes the relationship is draining them, draining their reserves. There's something about how you both have kind of a vampiric attraction to each other, as if that bite means that you both are connected in a very sensuous, but sometimes really hard, toxic relationship. And they said many times, if you've even felt that you're the one that's always walking away, they're saying that they are trying to let you walk away. They say that there are times where they just want it to be the end. And they said you've both done the things like blocking each other, um, you know, um, uh, not talking to each other for long periods of time. And then there's something about like when you all see each other again, you all are instantly back in each other's energy. There's many parts of this person, and I'm going to go into really the blunt truth because this person wants you to know, group number two. There's many parts of them that doesn't feel like if this is harmful for them that they want to quit it. They feel like sometimes they are in some kind of addictive situation with you where they don't want to be cured. They don't. In fact, one of the songs that Spirit gave me for this connection was by Diana Ross, "Love's Hangover." If you listen to that song, you're gonna know. But there's also Jill Scott's song. Jill Scott has this song, "Cross My Mind." Because even in Jill's that a line in that song says, "But the reality is, honestly, you were never good for me, and I was never good for you. I just remember the things we used to do." Um, Group number two, this relationship is highly exual. Exual. I think that that's where you all keep kind of re-entering each other's energy. This person feels like they're the binary is really stark on either way. They feel at one end they're jumping off a cliff, on the other end they're jumping into a fire pit. They feel as if this relationship is so intense with the both of you that they've tried everything. I think this person, even, for a small group of you, this person tried to get really religious. They were like, let me go and confess. Let me go get some holy water poured on me. And so I think that the blunt truth is this person feels like they went in search of twin flames. They feel like maybe this is what this is, and I've got to figure out what it is. Some people feel like you might have put a spell on them, or they feel like you both have been cursed over lifetimes. For some of you, you may have thought this is a connection from a past life that just needs some kind of resolution. So the blunt truth is that they're not sure what to do, and they're not sure that they want to know what to do. Group number two. Wow. Spirit is saying, let's see what your ancestors have to say. There's something about, wow, what you both have made in this relationship. And I say that in a very curious way because the next card I pull is the Father. This could definitely be someone that you were either married to or someone that you had a child with, group number two. There's something about when I say what you both have made, you both have put some kind of energy into this relationship and created something. It could be a child, it could be a business, it could be a project, a book, You both created something that now is a part of both of your lives. Something that keeps you both connected. And the easiest thing is to think a child or children, you know. What do your ancestors want to say about this, though? Okay. In many ways, group number two, your ancestors are saying that this relationship, it has much more of a sacred meaning than you think it does. And for some people, I don't really know everything about twin flames or soulmates in the sense of what's the difference between all of that. All I'm saying is that your ancestors are saying that this is a relationship that has existed over lifetimes, which makes it hard to just dispose of. But in many ways, your ancestors are saying it could be healthier, this relationship. And let's see what Spirit has to say about, because, we're just talking about their feelings about you, group number 2. But Spirit and your ancestors are saying, if you both want to learn how to balance the relationship out, if you both want to learn how to be with each other in a more healthy way, it's going to require for you both to do some spiritual work on your own. Because in some way, you both are spiritually tied to each other. Wow. So I see the Ancestors card, the Pilgrim card, which is like the Fool, and now I see Four of Earth, which is showing in this particular deck as almost like a Stonehenge. There's some kind of way in which you both need to embark on something that's sacred, in a journey that's sacred together, that will open up why you both have the connection you have. Instantly, I think this might be some kind of plant medicine journey you all need to take together with some set intentions to it. There's something in a spiritual realm that you both need to retrieve. And it will explain why the connection experiences what it experiences. Yeah, from the bottom of deck, the love card comes up here, and you have several cards with the number 7 on it. It sounds like there is a spiritual solution to what you both are experiencing, group number 2. But in exploring this spiritually, you have to understand that you both may find out things about each one of you and your connection that may be very difficult, may be very hard. That's what Spirit is saying. It may not all come out as butterflies and buttercups and love connections. It may come out as some really hard, deep stuff each one of you has to learn. Yeah, Spirit is saying here that you both need to set up some kind of parameters for your relationship, and to understand that this connection, it's causing more harm than good. And in many ways, you both are being encouraged to, with the Strength card and then the Four of Swords in reverse, you both are being encouraged, group number 2, to really take some time to reflect. Maybe for both of you, this isn't even exactly couples therapy. It might be individual therapy. Because Spirit is indicating here, and I know this is a reading about how they feel about you, group number 2, but it did start out really kind of intense, and Spirit is saying here that intensity, the both of you being attracted to each other in the way that it is, and some of the codependency, and just some of the ways in which you both are trying to create permanent links between yourselves, like, having children together. There's something there about not wanting to lose each other. And there's a deep fear, deep avoidance. There's things that you both need to discover about this relationship. Some on your own, some together. You have the Knight of Cups here. Spirit is not saying this match is impossible, but there are some aspects to it that need intervention, that you both need guidance for. Because in many ways, when it's good, but when it's unhealthy, it's really super unhealthy. And it's interesting because in the star card, there are two people coming together and they're touching both of their index fingers together, and a star is happening in the middle. So Spirit is saying there's very much something that could happen that's very healing between the both of you, but you both have to put in the work. You have to put in the intention to work on this relationship and make it healthy, make it something that makes it successful. That's very interesting. Spirit stepping in this way, in this reading. Yeah. Um, it's interesting because in my last live message, when I did the midnight tea, this couple came up first in group number one. So if you I think it's the midnight tea where my image is showing. And if you listen to group number one, I think this is a continuation of that story or very similar to it, because what's happening here, group number two, is that I'm seeing your person and they need to grow. They need to be an emperor energy. But right now, they're seeing themselves as just a knight of cups. They're seeing themselves just consumed by this relationship and where it's going, where it's not going, what what you're doing, group number two, and what they need. And they're avoiding their growth somehow, being in this level of agitation in the relationship. Like they need to grow. And Spirit is saying they are quite sure the Emperor. But and it's, if I wish I could show you all these cards, because the Emperor is faced looking at the Knight of Chalices. And the Knight of Chalices is like, I'm happy here. I've got this beautiful cup. What else could I want? And the Emperor's like, but you're linked to me, and I'm standing here wanting to be my full self. So in many ways, group number two, uh, what they feel about you, it may be keeping them in a place of not being in their full potential. Take it where it resonates. Spirit is also saying what they feel about you is that they are not sure how to use their power around you. They're not sure what it is that they're not sure how to use their power in healthy ways around you. They're maybe always coming up with ways to try to manipulate you to staying with them or seeing them again, or like they're just not sure all the time what they want. Spirit is saying, from a perspective of advice to you, group number two, this person needs to grow. They need to grow up. Yeah, they are very much in some kind of trickster energy when it comes to you. They want to be able to manipulate and be duplicitous when it comes to this connection. And maybe you're seeing that, group number two. But the truth is that they can't even see you for who you are, because the goddess card came out in reverse. So group number two, they're not seeing you in your full embodiment. They just see you as someone who's like all other women, if you are identifying as a woman, someone who's always like the people they end up with, like they're kind of using that as an excuse to not dive deeper into why they act the way they act in this relationship. Spirit said, one more card here. I think what Spirit wants to share with you, group number two, is that you both are very strong people who have some kind of destiny. If that destiny is together, Spirit is saying we don't know, because you both have work to do. I keep seeing it, like both of you, your healing has to be done separately. This is not a couples therapy issue. It's more like both of you need to grow. Both of you are showing up as monarchs. One person is showing up as an emperor, but they're currently in night energy, so you know the work that's ahead. And one person, perhaps yourself, group number 2, is showing up as a victorious monarch. So equally, empress, emperor, you're too showing up as that, but I don't see much of more of a journey. It's more of you realizing being able to focus on that status for yourself. Yeah. Yeah. So interesting. So you got the martyr card, which is sacrifice and self-reflection. Spirit is saying here that there's been so much sacrifice, group number 2, that you've made in this connection, that you're actually sacrificing even your status spiritually as the monarch of someone of high status. And so Spirit is saying here that it's time for you to go within and really put this relationship where it needs to be, which in many cases is behind you. Because the blunt truth about how this person feels is that they share many immature thoughts about this relationship. They don't want to change. They don't want a cure for how they feel in this relationship. And so, in many ways, long story short, they're unwilling to change. They would rather have things continue to be turbulent, continue to be toxic, and continue to maybe blame you, group number 2, for its toxicity, for perhaps a curse, perhaps the poison, the venom. So, group number 2, let me know if you resonated with any or parts of this particular channeled message. And yeah, if you like the way that I channel messages, please consider subscribing if you haven't to this channel. If you click the bell, you will get notified of when I upload new channel messages. There are a variety of different kinds of readings on this channel, and I think I'm going to keep it that way. Some are audio only, some will show the cards, and others will be live with featuring my little face. So thank you so much, group number 2. And let me know if you have any comments, but most certainly, this is the blunt truth of how they feel. Okay. Hello, group number 3. This is Kamara with the Black Dove Oracle, and this is your channeled message on how they feel about you, the blunt truth. Let's clear the energy. I think I was telling some people in the live that I like to put these tuning forks right up to my ears because I'm clairaudient, and it kind of clears the energy. So yeah, I don't know if you can hear them at that subtle level. So group number 3, we are starting out with an archetype card from the wild unknown to kind of set the energy of how this person feels about you. And for your group number 3, you got the box. And here's what I'll say about the box. The box represents all of the rules, the norm, how we contain things, the cage that we kind of put ourselves in sometimes in terms of life's limitations. When I see the box, I'm thinking about what's being confined to the box. What is it that, someone expects? What's already known? What's already been anticipated? So the box is really about what keeps us in sameness. And I get a feeling for you, group number 3, that this person, they really try to keep your relationship in some kind of containment. For them, they're more comfortable if this relationship is predictable. And maybe I would even extend beyond this relationship they have with you to say that that's how they like most things in their life. Predictable, kind of already known, whatever they need to expect. This is a kind of person in general, I would say, as a little bit of an energy check to make sure you're in the right group. This is a person that likes to adhere to the status quo. This is a person who often submits to social pressures or social constructs. So, group number three, I think that this person is more traditional. Um, and, in many ways, you may sometimes find your relationship with them a little limiting. And even if I thought you brought that up to this person, they would not see themselves this way, which is kind of interesting. I believe these characteristics for them are mostly unconscious. And so when we kind of tap into how they feel about you, this is interesting because group number three, spirit is sharing with me that you tend to fit within their constructs, meaning you may have a particular look that they like to date, like a phenotype, like someone who only dates blondes or someone who only likes really certain body types. And so, group number three, for you, this person feels that you fit their type. You may even fit in terms of the kind of career you have, the kind of financial status that you have. And for them, it's more about making sure that you continue to fit in this construct. This might be for just a small group of you, but this person might comment on your body if it tends to gain weight or lose too much weight. This person is that kind of person that would comment on that and say, hey, why don't we hit the gym? Or hey, why don't we start eating this kind of food? Like this person, you start to see that the things that they comment on about you, the way that they support you fits within their constructs. And so, it's kind of interesting because this person feels that you fit in their order. You just make logical sense to be with. And you can see where I'm going to go, group number three. There's an absence of like cup energy here, there's an absence of feeling here. So, there's also like when this person, um, when you all might have a disagreement, this person's fears are that you would walk away and they would have to explain why someone so perfect for them no longer wants to be with them. This person really is concerned a lot about what other people think, even though, again, I don't think they see that about themselves. I think it's a huge blind spot. If you ask them, they would say they're a completely independent thinker, very progressive, whatever. But I think even if they were very progressive and independent, they're looking for someone who externally presents that so that their friends and their colleagues and maybe even their family would approve of this person. I get for many of you in group number three, this person feels like you all share this master DNA, like you are this power couple, that your children would look good if you ever had any, um, in that way, they are very much about adapting to a very high profile of their norm. What else, Spirit? Spirit is saying here too that um, they like that you don't get too emotional. They like that you all can kind of just have your arguments on the logical, intellectual level. And so for them, they feel like you fit They're intellectual, aesthetic as well. Somebody who's older in their family really likes you, really approves of you. It could be an older mother or a grandmother, depending. What else Spirit is saying? And this is the blunt truth. They feel like you have some kind of ingenuity, some kind of upward mobility. Even from where you are right now, even if you are very successful, they foretell that you will be someone even more successful, someone they could even more be proud of because of the things that you are going to achieve. Maybe for some of you, you're a really good writer, and maybe, or this person might be the writer, but I think you might be group number three. The way that you write, or something that has to do with words, they really feel like you're going to write the ultimate blockbuster one day, if you haven't already. But they really like your trajectory. They like where you are going. They like your skills, they like your wisdom. And in many ways, they are skilled enough to communicate that to you as support, as love. But the blunt truth that Spirit is saying and bringing forward is that this person sees you more as an object, unfortunately, than an actual person. And that might hurt for some people if you are not expecting this. But I think for many of you in group number three, you're here because you suspect this at some either conscious or unconscious level. You wonder about this person's, I would say they come off as very committed though, but you wonder if that commitment is based on how you fit within their box. And Spirit is saying here, yes, you have the messenger of fire. This is interesting. Maybe for some of you, because this might get specific, group number three, and it's going to tear a little bit away about how they feel about you. But you may have met someone recently, group number three. I'm not saying you were looking to meet someone or you were dating someone else, but I am saying you met someone recently that is the opposite of this person. This person that you met recently feels very fiery, passionate, almost like, very nature oriented. You may have met this person and they didn't have a shirt on. I don't know why Spirit is pointing that out to me, but when you met this person, they may have been outdoors and they didn't have a shirt on. And maybe that was something that I'm just saying, that might have been something that you noticed immediately, their physique. But this person, it's really interesting when I look at the avatar and I'm looking at a card here of Messenger of Fire. These two people are even completely different phenotypes. Like one person is more darker, African features, really handsome, and really kind of put together, coiffed, their hair is lined, And then I look at the Messenger of Fire. They have this messy blonde hair that's almost too long and it covers their eyes. They're wearing sandals. They're so the opposite of not being coiffed. And so they carry this shield with a scarab on it though. And the scarab is holding the sun, that traditional scarab holding the sun. And there's something about this person. They may be an Aries, they may be a Taurus. I forget which one is the ram. Is it Aries? Is it Taurus? Y'all let me know. I could Google it. But this person, I think they're Aries because I'm saying they're fire. It's like they've just got a lot of passion. They live life and they're not so concerned about what people think. There's something about them that is very fascinated with the earth and how ancient cultures lived on the earth. This person may have some kind of career where they maybe something like anthropology, but spirit is not really pointing out that it's strictly anthropology. They could be an anthropologist, but they may be a historian. They mix something between ecological philosophy and ancient philosophy. That's so specific, but I'm getting that. But on the broader terms, this person believes that our early ancestors have an answer for modernity. Like they have an answer for the ills of modernity. And so this person likes to experiment, like living like their ancestors, very close to the earth, barefooted on the earth. Um, you know, very little clothing, just like exposing themselves to the elements. This is a very interesting person. And I don't know, their energy kind of just came in here at group number 3. I think what spirit is trying to say here, if this is like resonating with you, is that you may meet someone or you have met someone either now or in the near future that will be the opposite of this person that wants the cute little box. And I think, there are many kind of romantic storylines with this kind of thing of how this guy I say guy, but this person in that that we're kind of looking at group number 3, they have a ready-made image that they want your relationship to continue in. And for them, that feels safe, it feels secure. You both know where you're going, you both know where you want. It's a high ambition profile. There's this guarantee of a house and a fence and 2.5 kids. There's that guarantee there. It's very laid out, mapped out. And spirit is saying here, group number 3, that the way they feel about you, maybe there was some point in the beginning of the relationship that you felt like that was good. It felt like commitment. It felt like security. But maybe when you meet someone soon or have some kind of experience, it doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic interest. It could be something that you start to learn. And it starts to have you questioning just, how is this relationship confining you? Or how is it defining you? And so spirit is saying here, when I picked this card, spirit reminded me, well, I was thinking of a scene in the movie, but it's actually part of a book. If you've ever read Amy Tan's Joy Luck Club, there is a chapter called Rules of the Game. And in the Joy Luck Club, it's kind of telling the stories of this mother and some sisters, right? And one of the sisters ends up marrying a guy who I guess we would describe as a white man, and they call him the rice husband for this particular chapter. But I think what Amy Tan explores in their relationship is how highly transactional it is, because throughout the marriage, they keep close tabs on who does what financially. It's almost like there's a spreadsheet. Like, you paid for this dinner, and this dinner costs this much. I pay this, like everything has to be split 50-50 down the middle in this relationship. Everything has detailed records about who paid for what. They even, she describes even in the chapter how Lena's husband, that's the sister who's married to this guy, how Lena's husband even earned more than her and still insisted that they split everything down the middle. I mean, it became so transactional, their relationship. It was so emotionally distant. It was just kind of like two people living together, maybe even as roommates. I sometimes think of that kind of relationship, and how it just completely shut her down in terms of finding her voice in the relationship. And it kind of pointed to in the book her own mother's modeling of how to just passively accept unhappiness. And so I think that Spirit brought that memory of that book, and it's also a movie if you wanted to watch it. But I think Spirit brought that in because Spirit wanted to explain to you, and maybe you even have a feeling, group number 3, of what this relationship would eventually grow into. And the song that Spirit brought up in my mind, and I don't even know because I kind of read over the lyrics and I was all like, okay. But it's an old song by this I'm so dating myself, the 90s group The Fix, Fixx. And the song is One Thing Leads to Another. But I guess when I was reading through the lyrics, it was saying something about it's easy to believe someone's been lying to me, but when the wrong word goes in the right ear, I know you've been lying to me. It's getting rough off the cuff. I've got to say enough's enough. And then it kind of goes into one thing leads into another. It's a really cool video. It's like so 80s new wave. But did I say 90s before? It's 80s. 80s new wave. But anyway, there's something even about the guy who's like the front singer for The Fix. He's very contained. Like for the music that they're singing, he's always wearing kind of like a suit and jackets with collars. The hair is kind of in that, so maybe you'll see it if you watch the video. But all I'm saying here, I think those two examples are what Spirit is trying to say is sometimes we are taught, maybe conditioned. Maybe we had childhoods, some of us and I'll say some of you in group number 3, maybe you had childhoods that were really unpredictable, like maybe even financially unpredictable. So as we grow up, we want somebody who's really predictable, someone who really lays out the plan, someone who really says, this is how it's all going to work, this is how it's all going to go, and you feel safe and secure with that. But Spirit is saying for some of you in group number 3, you wonder if that truly is your life. You wonder if that truly is the thing that's going to make you happy. And I think it's going to end up, obviously, as a personal choice. But if you want the blunt truth on how this person feels, group number 3, it is just that, that this is, and you are, a very safe choice. And there's nothing that's meant to be critical of that. We have the 8 of Swords here. I think in some ways Spirit wants you to understand, because plans like this, people like this, they can make the plans feel like everything is written in stone. Oh, I would call off the wedding, but all the invitations have been sent. I've actually heard someone in my family say that before when there was a clear red flag about who they were marrying, and then they ended up getting an annulment, but that's their story. I'm just saying, a person like this, and Spirit is even confirming this with the star card even. This particular star card shows 2 people with their fingers pointing towards each other and creating the star. A person like this or a relationship like this can make it seem like everything's already been planned. Why would you come in and change something right now? What are we going to tell people? It's that kind of vibe. You know what I'm saying? And Spirit is saying here with 7 of Pentacles, Yeah, there's just this reinforcement of all the work, all the investment this person has put into this relationship. How dare you walk away? I think that's coming up for somebody. And Spirit just wants you to know this is not a thing that is only happening to you, group number 3. It is a pattern that some people experience in relationships. Yeah, this Knight of Swords, this person feels like this is the perfect relationship for upward mobility. They're going to marry the perfect person for the plans of their life. Excuse me, I still have a cough. Sorry, you guys. One moment. So, and maybe they don't want you to hear that this is not only you, group number 3, that there are a few relationships like this that kind of play on that dynamic of investment and time and everything that's been put into it, all the money, they make that the reason why you should stay with them and not the reason that they actually love you. Even though they may shape the love to fit those things, Spirit says it will be important for you to figure out if you are actually going to grow in this relationship or remain limited. And that's hard. That is truly hard. But group number 3, if you resonated with any or all of this reading, could you please consider giving me a thumbs up? It's just a way to help me grow this brand new channel. And if you like the way that I channel messages and tell the blunt truth, then please consider subscribing to this channel. If you click the bell, you will get notified when I upload new channeled messages. I have a variety of different kinds of reading on this channel. Sometimes I show the cards in my hands. Sometimes I'm doing this audio only. And other times I'm doing lives just featuring my little face. So either way, however you like it, I aim to give a variety of different kinds of messages here. If this is where we part, group number 3, this has been a very, I think of what I've read so far, this has been a very blunt reading. So take care and you know that you ultimately, obviously, have the decision to make. Okay, thanks so much. Hello, group number 4. This is Kamara with the Black Dove Oracle, and this is your channeled message on how they feel about you, the blunt truth. I gotta tell you, groups 1 through 3, and you always hear me probably say this, group number 4, were pretty deep, pretty deep. Group number 3 was pretty blunt, pretty blunt. I think they all have been, really, just in many different ways. But group number 4, let's clear the energy for you. The cards are shuffled. I've had a couple of sips of water. Had a little sip of tea just now. So group number 4, how I set this up was that I took one card from the Wild Unknown Archetype deck and I selected that card so that Spirit can give us the overall energy of this relationship. And so for you, group number 4, you got the Nectar. If you have not seen the Nectar card, it's almost like a drawing of this peach, and in the middle where there would be the seed, right, is a rose and a hand kind of reaching towards the center of the rose. Okay. So the Nectar, group number 4, just to kind of give you a little energy check on this card, see if you're in the right group. because there are 3 other groups. The nectar is the medicine, the elixir, the garden. In Hindu, it may be referred to as Amrit, which also means nectar, but it means infinite healing power. Sacred elixir that drinks of immortality. Like Soma, it activates the subtle, intelligent forces that ease the mind, the body, and the spirit. As you can imagine, group number 4, the nectar is the sweet, potent, heavenly essence. It lubricates spirit back to life. So, group number 4, this person, the way they feel about you is highly sensual. They feel that the relationship they have with you, it harkens them back to their senses. It's kind of reminding me, I mean, it was a really, how do I want to say, erotic movie, but it was called Realm of the Senses. I think it was a foreign film, but I can't remember what country it's from. I think it was an Asian film, but I can't remember the country. But it was called Realm of the Senses. It might have been Japanese. I don't know. It was a while ago, but it's like that. It's like two people um who, when they come together, it feels like regeneration. It feels like to this person, when they are with you, it's like a real powerful but subtle experience. They really feel as if there are moments where they feel subtle sensations on their skin when they're with you. I don't know. I'm just seeing that, group number 4. This person feels like they are addicted to your smell, the fragrance of you. It reminds them of a forgotten garden. They love your eyes, the way they shimmer in the sunlight. They like the smell of you, the touch of you, like everything appeals to their 5 senses. And I think this is a person that has never been in this experience before, group number 4. But when they feel like you awaken them, you have helped them to not only grow, but to learn how to deeply relax and really um, go within and feel um, many different parts of their body in detail. This person feels like, in some ways, they feel like they could become addicted to you. Really, they feel like they could, but they also feel that in the way that they respond to you, they feel like it's more of a gentle thing. I mean, if you listen to group number 1, I think this is similar but opposite. This person doesn't feel like their attraction to you puts the rest of themselves under attack. They actually feel very whole with you, group number 4. There's something about even talking to you that soothes their brains. Like, I think they look forward to spending time with you. Maybe this person has a stressful job. Spirit is pointing out to maybe somebody with a very stressful job, like, I want to say a brain surgeon, like somebody who does something very detailed and stressful that requires their full attention. Maybe even it's just high level stress. But when they are with you, they feel like they can just relax. The tension is gone. And they're awakened in different ways. And I think that's why the nectar came up, because they feel like every experience with you, group number 4, is partaking of this nectar. If you ask me about an ancient old love story that Spirit reminded me of, Krishna and Parvati. And I hear one of my favorite readers for a long time has been The Quietest Revolution. Uh, Umber, she really tells this story so fabulously, and I will not do it justice, nor will I probably get into all the detail that she gets into. But what I know of that story, and I will tell you some interesting things around this story for me personally. Krishna, was a god, and he had this first wife that he really loved. And somehow she ends up transitioning. I don't know how. So again, I think you would probably, if you're interested in a story, you'll probably seek it out from someone who can really tell it. But either way, when his wife died, she decided she was going to reincarnate. And so she reincarnates into this young woman who I think is called Parvati, but I might be confusing the wife's name with the woman she incarnates into. The overall story is that when this young woman is born and she realizes that she is reincarnated from Krishna's first wife, she wants to go to him. And traditionally, I guess there are people who are devotees who will kind of take care of the shrines of the gods, and they're kind of take care of the gods. And so she became like a caretaker of Krishna because she felt like being close to him, he would remember ultimately who she is because she's reincarnated, right? I mean, of course, she looks different, but her energy is the same, and she made sure that she was able to remember who she was. And so she was around him, and he was in such maybe some stories describe him as grieving. He just kind of took into a hermitage kind of life where he meditated for long days, and he would have servants come and serve him food and whatever, take care. And so this was Parvati, so she came and she would serve him, and she found that no matter what, he would never open his eyes or say anything to her. And I think she tried various things, and then finally she talked to another god. I feel like this is part of the story, but you guys fact check me. And so she talked to another god, and they're saying, well, you would have to do this to get his attention. And whatever she kind of, long story short, did to awaken him, and when he looked at her, or maybe finally paid attention to her, he realized she was the reincarnation of his wife. And so it was said that, they spent like some significant number of days just making love, and kind of reacquainting themselves to each other. But this is a beautiful love story that some years ago I went to India for the first time. And right before I got on the plane to go to India, I had this very interesting dream where I was laying down on my bed, kind of like you just see yourself, your head on your pillow. And right next to me was this really beautiful, I mean, kind of like illuminescent, like Indian man with long hair. And he turned to me and he pointed to me and said, "You are, oh, you are Shakti." So that's Shakti's the other name. So I think Parvati was, just break you all, Parvati was the first wife and Shakti was the reincarnation. Because in the dream, the beautiful man pointed to me and said, "You are Shakti and I am Shiva." And I was like, and we just smiled and embraced. And then I woke up. And so when I went to India and I went to Bangalore and, the southern part of India, I was in this shop where they actually make all these beautiful bronze statues. And I said to the man, I had this dream and I think I'm looking for that statue of the embrace of Shakti and Krishna. And so I ended up buying this really heavy bronze statue that is now on my shrine. And so to me, it's like half of the statue is kind of the male embodiment, and the other half is the feminine embodiment. And I think that story tells for you, group number 4, how this nectar is even talking about how the feminine and the masculine energies doesn't have to relate necessarily to gender, but how that you both come together energetically in a way in this group number 4. This is how your person is describing that feeling. Like they no longer feel they're living separate. They feel like they merge with you in many ways in this relationship. And it's not only sexual, it's really sensually, even maybe at the DNA level. Okay. Wow. Let me see. I haven't even gotten into the cards yet. Let's see. So I don't know, but hopefully that's starting to give you all the energy, group number 4, of what this person feels. Yeah, this person loves when you both dance together. Um, there's some kind of movement that you all do that's very sensual. For some of you, this person thinks, if they are not already, they really think of having a child with you. They want to be a father. If this is a masculine embodied person, they really want to have a child with you. They may think about that. That's if for some people, it's not for everyone. But wow, the mother card came out right next to that. Yeah, this person sees you both as parents together, regardless of gender. They just see you both as parents. So that's coming forward in a very strong way. This person, wow, there's something that I think that they write about you. They write about you. Group number 4. I think they write poetry about you, or they just journal about you. They journal about their experiences with you, because they feel like these experiences are so otherworldly. You have actually made this person, group number 4, believe in deep, loving connection. I don't know if this person ever thought that was really possible. But for you, group number 4, they really believe that you two are meant to create things together, not only children, but other things. Like they believe in the forces that you both embody. They're meant for each other. They're meant to come together in some way to create something. Yes. They see both of you even growing old together and still sharing the same energy. They can never imagine that this energy would ever wane, that it would ever lessen in intensity. They imagine themselves taking care of you when they're old, and maybe vice versa. Wow. In many ways, they feel like you are a great teacher of theirs, maybe even from a former life, a past life. And that would I think that's why Spirit shared with me the Krishna Parvati Shakti story, because I think this person feels like your connection is so otherworldly, so past life, even. Yeah. We have the 5 of Swords here. I think what this person is showing, though, because this 5 of Swords in this particular deck is interesting. It's like 2 people facing each other, and the sword is buried deep in the sand, or, right by the ocean shore. And they both have a wand pointing to this sword. This 5 of Swords shows that you both feel so highly connected in this relationship that if you both met and you both, one or both of you were with someone else, you both would feel like completely justified in ending that, because your connection is that strong and so sure and so clear. I would even be surprised if people in group number 4 really need this reading. I think that this relationship, it holds many things that are so evident, but also, Spirit just gave me the moon. Like, there is still more for you both to uncover in this relationship, things that you both do not see yet. Wow. I feel like, it was like I should have showed these cards because the Chariot card, wow, for this deck, you all, um, it shows, 2 people, and they're both kind of holding up a baby to the cosmos. And, one person is dressed in black, the other person's dressed in white. They're both from, phenotypically very different. So, yeah, you both could be from different cultures, different races. Um, there's something about you two definitely having a child together. If that's something you both want, that's definitely, you both will either be creating a child or creating something. Yeah, I think lastly, Spirit is saying here for both of you, this relationship is about choosing each other. And when you both do that, the magic of this relationship just, it unfolds. Seriously, deeply. It unfolds into something so magical that nothing could ever separate it. Nothing. No person, no circumstance. Wow. Yeah. So group number 4, I think that's it. Yeah. Spirit is saying it is an ancestrally, how do I want to say this? Ancestrally approved relationship. You two have ancient ancestors, even though you are from different cultures, who once knew each other and said to each other, in the future, our families will come together again. How beautiful. Yeah. So, group number 4, very emotional, this one. But that is the blunt truth about how they feel about you, group number 4. If you resonate with any or all of this reading, would you consider giving me a thumbs up? It's a way of helping me grow this brand new channel. And if you resonate with how I channel messages, please consider subscribing to this channel. If you click the bell, you'll get notified when I upload new readings. And group number 4, I'm glad that this reading, this group, ended on this note, because I think there was a series of different kinds of messages in this entire reading. And this one, I'm glad it ended in the way that it did. So all the best to you, group number 4, and take care, my honeys.